All right, we're continuing our week-long series on World on Edge, a series of investigating global hotspots that may jeopardize our national security. By looking over there, we find out what's going to happen over here. Today, we turn to Iraq and then Syria, which presidential candidates would be best to handle the challenges each country presents. That's some of the topics that came up last night, now today. Gillian Turner back, Fox News contributor, former White House Security Council staff, a member under President Bush and Obama, here to break it all down. Gillian, today you have us stopping in Iraq. The big news recently has been Ramadi and the presence of ISIS there. It's dissipated, but at a cost.
Yeah, you know, the U.S.-led military coalition in conjunction with the Iraqi National Forces has been able to retake Ramadi. It took much longer than projected. We first made inroads into the city in December and weren't able to fully take back control until February, about last week, 10 days ago. And so now looking forward to retake Mosul, which is the next thing we're prepping ourselves to do. Forecasts are running anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. Secretary Carter thinks it'll be done by the end of 2016, but the director of the intelligence agency says absolutely not.
Is part of it because we can't get the buy-in from the Iraqi Sunni population to take back their cities from these terrorists?
That's a big part of it. The other part of it is that retaking territory that's been claimed by terrorists is, when you're only using air power, is an innately very difficult, if not impossible thing. This gets back to what we've been talking about lately, which is you really need a holistic strategy that includes military, diplomatic, political, and ideological solutions.
But the good news is they kind of took all the money out of the banks, but now that money is drying up, thankfully. That's what we hear. Now let's switch over to Syria, the country right neighboring, where they stage all the Al-Qaeda in Iraq attacks on our guys during all the sieges during our occupation there. So let's talk about Syria. Where are we at?
In Syria, what we're looking at now, the big sort of ticket item for the first quarter of 2016 is getting the ceasefire agreement implemented. This is really where the State Department and the Obama administration has put all their eggs into this basket. So far, it's been going along in fits and starts, and it doesn't look like it's going to be accomplished anytime soon.
If people want to know how we're going to handle the refugee issue, which is so white hot here, that's where they're coming from.
4 million of them.
Yeah, and 200 to 300 to 400,000 dead. We're not quite sure. So what is Russia's presence in that area brought to it?
Russia's presence has really brought a whole lot of chaos, a lot more civilian deaths than we would have liked to see, and that's because they've been completely disingenuous from the get-go about their motives for being there. They claim they're there to fight ISIS, kill ISIS fighters, but yet they're not doing that. They're focusing completely on the Syrian moderate opposition that's opposed to Bashar al-Assad.
And Gillian, as we look at the forums last night, the 9 debates prior, you heard how all the candidates, what they stand and what they would do against ISIS. Who makes you feel that they're the most competent to win this war against this terror group?
To be honest, Brian, I think that when it comes to choosing this election cycle, we don't have people with very strong foreign policy credentials, and that really worries me. I think that the rhetoric of some of the candidates has been a little bit better than some of the others, so for that reason I would go with Kasich or Rubio on the Republican side. I think that they have the type of judgment that I would feel comfortable allowing to be at the table with military advisors to take advice. But again, no real experience.
Right, and a lot of people say, yeah, Hillary Clinton, you were there, but look at the decisions you made. And look where we're at right now.
She's got the experience, but then on the flip side, look at the record. So no great choices when it comes to foreign policy.
The ISIS fighters get trained there, and a lot of them, sadly, end up here. That's the ultimate goal. Gillian Turner, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Finish up our series tomorrow.